preheat to roast 400 grams of Katira. I have about 1.5 kilos left. This rim is smoky after about 4 pounds of roasting. If I were going to roast to the light side, I would probably clean this before I start. However, today I'm going to go into the dark side. A little farm technology, or farmer slash baling wire slash safety wire technology. Works fine. TIG welder would be easier. Stage is set. We're going to be roasting 400 grams of this Katira bean. I've roasted almost 10 pounds. I think there's a little over 1 kilo left in the bag. We're going to go to the darker side, as I mentioned before. Glass is a little smoked up, hard to see in. So we go to the darker side, then clean the glass. Got it set to 385, and you can see, or 485, you can see we're gaining on the preheat of the chamber. Set at about 420. This will get up to about 500, and then I'll put the beans in. It'll drop back down to 400 as it starts loading the heat into the beans. For about 4 or 5 minutes, the chamber's up over 530. When set to 480, we're going to shut this down, load the beans in, and venture to the darker side. The timer, start the beans rotating, and you can see we did drop to about 400 degrees. Drum cooling system on ready, and we're up to about 425. Unless you have a machine shop, I encourage everyone to leave their motors separate, so it takes up little imprecise alignment issues by just wobbling around. You can see the beans around 4.5 minutes are turning from green to yellow. The green to yellow phase at 4.5 minutes. Okay, we're seeing about a 20 or 25 degree hysteresis as the oven heater comes on and off. It's ranging from 490 to 470. We'll proceed this way for the remainder of the roast until near the end. 2.5 minutes with daylight or sunlight, you can see the beans are turning brown. Alright, 7 minutes. I'm breaching 500 degrees. I'm going to turn the oven down 15 degrees nominally. At 9 minutes, just sitting back, I'll listen closely for a crack around 11 to 12 minutes. I heard a crack at 10 minutes. Let's go investigate. Yeah, that's a first crack. Sitting at 480 in the chamber. So I want to get it to about a 13.75 minute development time minimum, but I'm going to go all the way into the second crack, attempting to take this past City Plus. A bit of smoke at the 11-minute mark. I might achieve my darker roast here yet. It's about 75 to 80 degrees ambient outside. Sounds like we're hitting a second crack at right around 13 minutes. I'm going to let this roll until just shy of 14 minutes. It's a rolling second crack. Right along, I'm going to stop the oven and pull it. It's definitely the darkest roast I've ever done. Let's see what we got here. Things I like about my cooling method, I went about 15 seconds longer because it's a darker roast. You can see chaff is everywhere, including in the bowl. I can use the same method to clean up. Darker roast expand a little more so they're now heaping up over the bowl, which I measured the green beans onto. Yep, we're going to do a second 400 gram batch. Try to achieve the same roast level in 13 minutes. So prime the oven up to about 500 degrees, load it up, and I'm going to turn it back to 465 at about the 9-minute mark, I recall. I'll play the tapes back. I'm just going to try to repeat this directly. We'll see how it goes. We had a 19.25% reduction in the first batch. Alright, we're approaching the first minute here. On the second batch, you can see we've risen to 417 degrees. I'm going to play the tapes back and figure out where I turn the oven back to 465. Try to repeat the same 13.5-minute roast. My new roasting station. Around at 6 minutes 20 seconds. You can see it's approaching 500 degrees. I played the tapes back at around 7 minutes and 3/4 minutes. 7 and 3/4 minutes. I turned the nominal to 365. I'll do that again. Okay, it's 7 minutes 3/4. I'm curious if this 8-segment display shows up. I'm turning it down to 465 now. Oop. I just heard the initial crack around 10 minutes 15 seconds. Again, we're shooting for that 14-minute development time, just short of it. On track, following the same recipe as the first roast of the day. 12 minutes, we're getting a decent amount of smoke. The oven's hovering between 470 and 490. And we're going to pull this at 13 and 3/4 minute. Hopefully we're in the rolling second crack at that point. Second crack has started at around 13 minutes. Not quite rolling yet. Okay, we have a rolling crack. You can hear it. About 490 in the oven. We're going to shut this down at 13 and 3/4 minute. And we'll call it. Oh, plan B. Plans, the dollar store modified tongs gave up. Critical moment, so the beans self-roasted an additional 15 seconds. You can see the result is they do look a little darker than the first batch, even though I think we're on track for an identical batch.